best solution for that specific point, but make no sense for the entire context. And even for me that I'm scientist, but I'm from a different field, to read a deliverable that has
49 pages.
49
to be
pages
exact.
for the first time, because I passed for the same than you, okay? I receive a deliverable on a date and I have 1 week to see if everything makes sense. So, but I was not involved directly in reading all the parts. It's complex because you don't know, okay, from these pages what I can do. But then there is the final part. You have the introduction and conclusion that summarize all. So it was easier for me to read these two parts and then go in detailing. So I agree with what experts said, that maybe we need to have like this summary at the end, non-technical, but we need also the deliverables,
Yeah.
because this is not just for the municipalities, also for the other researchers that are working, other people that is technical. So in my reality, I think we need to have, from now on, for other projects, always the technical part and non-technical. What people call best practice. That for me, best practice could be worst practice. They are, the majority of time, they are more important worst practice than the best practice, because if they are the best, they already work. If they are the worst, means that we need to work on them. So I think this is my approach now. From now on, and for the rest of the project, I will try to have the non-technical part for you, because we are working for cities, not for ourselves. This is my perspective as the coordinator of the project from these 2 years now.
Yeah, and we need to show the European Commission that we are capable of translating our results to other cities. And if you give them 500-page document at the end, nobody will read that. Yeah.
Felix, I have several meetings with Felix. Felix is representing cities event. So he is connected directly with the European Union, but more in the groups that are working for climate, for mobility, for decarbonization, so topics. So he works with scientists. His main work is to work with scientists. And he's always saying to me, we just have few time to read. And so 8 pages is okay, what we consider something that we could read. But if you can have like an infographic with all results of the 349 page, is amazing. But the difficulty is that, how can you put all of that in one? Of course, maybe you can have 2 or 3 infographics with each part, but that is the difficulty. So to pick from something that is very detailed and then give it the large approach.
I think we need to find a way on summarizing results and then having them also then linked to more detailed technical descriptions. If, for example, for whatever reason you want to then dive into one topic more deeply, you also find it on the webpage. And perhaps we can try to restructure it in the next year a bit to use our webpage a bit more to guide people through our results, because it would be a shame if we could not, if you condense everything down and we lose the details. That's also really
nonsense. It's nonsense, but that is the benefit of having a story map in a website. So it's telling the story, but in a very simple and easy way. That is not simple at all, because to create that is very complex, but seems very simple and very visual. So you see the problems, you see the floods, you see the solutions, the effectivity, just with the map, with the graph. But then I think it was that the reason that I changed, and this was me. So sometimes the coordinator also can take some decisions alone. So I took this decision without talking to nobody. After I have a meeting with Alina and Felix, that because of that they were saying at the end of the project, we need to understand everything, but not for us, REA or European Union, but because we want to upscale it for other cities. And so we have a deliverable, just one deliverable for the working package, 2 main deliverables. That was all the methodology, results and everything, and I suggest the 5 handbooks, because the idea is to have the deliverable with the technical part, with the methodology for scientists, and then we have the handbooks more just with the results for the cities can show and apply. And for next future project, they already have a book where they can show this results, this doesn't result, so this fits, this doesn't fit. it was because of that I come with the idea with 5 handbooks. Fortunately, all the cities was on board, so thank you for that. But that was the reason, to have these 2 scales, let's call it this.
If now, for example, we have we have a new elected body, so we will have to present the project. So if we think about, if I was just thinking about this, how am I going to show the importance? So maybe I would say we will discuss maybe 10 main actions that you need to take care of, and it's not just on detail, and we need to work on the master plan and all the regulation. We need the awareness. We need, so how what are the priorities or the main action? The overall, that it's not just in detail. I cannot tell to the elected body, oh, we need to have no, I have to give numbers. Okay, that's the problem. We are in a risk. So there's not just this small area that we are studying, but he will not have more time, or they won't have more time than half a page with some bullet points of the main actions or what we think are the results of the project.
I think perhaps we need to even step back one more step, and specifically for politicians, that's a perfect cue because I can bring Alex into the fold. Sometimes you only need one question, one problem, which they can immediately understand. In our case, I think most people will understand that nature-based solutions have a lot of benefits that just grey solutions don't have. And I think the monetary issue, which also was raised by the reviewers, is also something which is quite intuitive to understand. And if we can condense it down to one simple sentence, one simple problem, beneath that, how's, like, for example, the issues with engagement, how do we bring, so these are all different questions that some politicians don't even need to know. They don't need to concern themselves with it in the first place, because you first need to convince them that there is a problem, and but there's also a solution you can offer, right? I think, Alex, perhaps you can talk a bit about the Resilience Forum, because there we have now the experience with talking directly to politicians, to our mayor in Erftstadt, and how it all came to place, because I think this goes a little bit in this direction.
Yeah, thank you. I think that was very interesting what you said about translation, because what you need, you said you need to boil it down to 10 action points on a one-pager. And very often as scientists, that's what we do. In projects, we try to summarize and summarize and summarize and only have 10 points. So I think that's one way to translate. But the other translation needed is, I think, who to talk to. Because it's between scientists and practitioners, And I often have the feeling that those who work with us, like you, Angela, or Marcelena, or also the STEB representatives, you are the ones, you are already working specifically more like scientists. You have an understanding, you are working on the topic, so you could even read more than 10 points. You know what you want to do. But you need to convince your upper layers of management or politicians even. And that needs more translation. So how do they work? And a colleague told me, you're a scientist, right? So if you publish a paper, you want to be sure that you know exactly how the system works. You want to know exactly the numbers, right, Alex? I said, yes. Now you want to publish something for politicians, yes. You make suggestions for politicians, yes. So did you understand the system of how politicians work? No. And then he said, better you make your homework first. So we need to talk more to those people and try to find out what they need as a translation. Sometimes they need a 10-pager, but we also had a workshop, I think here, where you were participating, the P model, the P process. It's like the letter P, and it basically I was very fascinated. It shows me that we as scientists, or from working in a department, we come in with an idea that's coming into the P, but the mayor, decision maker, actually is turning her circles. And every day she has 10 different problems, and the next hour she has another 10 different problems. So their attention span and the way they work is very different from how we work. We have 3 years to sit down and write 349 pages, right? And whether we condense it to 10 points or 1, it doesn't matter. Because the attention span will still be only 10 minutes devoted to us. So we need to understand, how do you translate that to your upper layers, and how do these upper layers translate it to the other, and how to make sure that it's all interconnected. Because I would like to also learn from you what you saw yesterday. So what best practices and which not so good practices did you see? Because you have different eyes than we have. You're coming from outside, you look at Erftstadt and Köln, and maybe you see things that work well as a nature-based solution, in sync with grey infrastructure, or that don't. That would be very helpful, I think, to collect even today, that you say, what are your observations? Where do you see gaps where it's not working? I give you some example. So in that resilience forum, we're discussing now with the mayor and others, and we try to invite them, but actually it's only the mayor and the top decision makers who are, because they want to keep it under control, all right? So it's not a real participatory process. We're not having all segments of society yet. So that's one failure on the governance. We're not translating because we don't even have the people that need to talk to each other to translate. And the other thing is, as you rightly say, the technical problems. That seems easy to integrate, but in fact it's not being done. So what I mean is an example. In the R Valley, we had a big flood in 2021. I have two dear colleagues from Peru, Iris and Farhad from India. We were there, and they were surprised that 9,000 houses were destroyed in the flood, and only 40 are not rebuilt, they are moved away. All the other houses are directly rebuilt in the R Valley. So that doesn't make sense. Any scientist would come and say that doesn't make sense. On 300 pages or on one message, if you say that, it doesn't make sense. Still, it's being done. Why? Because this holistic planning of urban planning is still going on, but it's bound to the regulations of what can be done. Also, insurance is bound to the regulations. So I think our task as scientists is to say, this is still the wrong way, okay? So the colleagues of Roos, he just showed me an example of a flood 2 weeks ago in Elisabete. So a valley that was supposed that no building takes place because a flood is there only every 5 years. And now it's still happening. So we have these cases everywhere, and I think the big benefit of the project is to combine this, collect best and bad practices. And I think technical as well as organizational.
True.
I think that's perhaps a really good takeaway here, that perhaps we need to make sure that we target our information for two different, so from scientists, we need to have a combined paper with practitioners who can understand that, but we probably can give them some more details, or at least give them access to the details. We can give them a summary where they can find, okay,
links.
Yes, links, and then understand the whole issue, and then understand their resources, which we all created. But for politicians, on a politician, we need to perhaps think different, and that's going to at least.
I agree, disagree, because I think it's not just for politicians. I think it's for everyone. We start the project talking, and now we will do it because the experts come and said that it will be good, and I like the idea, so I took note, so I will push everyone to do it. But we start the project saying that we need to have a glossary. And the majority of the project is composed by people that comes from universities, and even people that is not from university are technicals. So we're supposed to speak the same language. Okay. Of course, all of us are speaking English. I'm not talking about the real language, but the terms, the definition of the terms. And that is the question. When I start, I'm an environmental engineer for those that doesn't know, but I work now 10 years in civil engineering. When I started in the group of infrastructures management, for me resilience was considered the entire ecosystem. So not just the infrastructure that you are protected, but everything. So they were talking about resilience. I said, maybe I don't know what is resilience, because for me it's different. Because they were talking about the resilience of the infrastructure, so the physical part, but for me it's more large than that. So even the definition of resilience for two experts that were talking, one in front of the other, was completely different. So I think before we go to find the links, the interconnection, how to speak with politicians, companies, wherever, we need to find first the definitions of what we want to say with some words. This is the focal point, the start point. And then when you say, okay, for us, risk is this, for us, resilience is this, for us, sustainability is this. That is something that I'm always discussing. Sustainability is everything. From my perspective, is everything. Resilience is sustainability for me. But for some people, sustainability and resilience are something that are connected but are not the same. But depends on what you mean with the word sustainability, what you mean with the word resilience. So this is the first point, and then yes, we can create all the science. That science is important. We saw it in COVID. Come on, just because all the science and all the experts come together, we could find a vaccine so fast and this. But also then create the links with the practitioners, and they need to be in the process to create this because they understand the words. They know how to speak with present. Every time that I want to do something in Aveiro, to Cunha said, Asla, now translate in your words to your present, to your people that is in your upper layer, because they know, they are technicals like us. She's architect, I'm an engineer, but we are both technical, so she knows how to speak with them already, I don't. So we need to have this, and what I really like on this project is this, because was very lucky, and I invite several cities, and the local governments decide to come. It's not easy to work with them. True, and you know more than me. For a scientist, it's terrible to work with politicians, but in reality, it's for the client that I'm working. So it's good to have the client involved in the process, because next time that we have another project, we already know what we need to do for cities, because they are completely different, but in reality they are very similar. That is what I'm understanding with this project, because they have different problems, but the way of they need to do the things is more or less the same, with some differences and some specificities, but they are very similar in the process.
I think we need to do more with children. Not because politicians are children, but
yes.
No, but
we understood.
It's what you said before. Let's make it simple.
Yes.
Like, what is the main challenge? When I was looking at the board yesterday at the water company, we have to keep 1 meter, 11 meters, 70 or something like this. But then Udo was showing the retention basin. These can lower down 17 centimeters. So if you have 10 times and you lower down 1 meter and 70. So it was really clear. So I thought, oh, we have to do something like this in Aveiro to make this poster, to say, okay, we have 75,000 square meter or cubic meters in our canals, and we need to get twice as much as we have now. To be really clear with clear numbers. We tried this pool thing, but we have to do this more, because we don't have this story to tell, this clear story. And if I show this, all these algorithms, or these dynamics and modeling, all these, for me it's somehow fun to get into these agent modeling and dynamic modeling and all these languages that you talk, but no one will read that. I mean, we just need, okay, that's a commercial, we have a tool that you can use to actually, or there's these kinds of tools that you can right away see, make the simulations, or that you can show.
I think that's a good example. Like the politician only is interested then, or not only the public probably as well. Yes, you said, right? Is interested in this clear communication. 1 meter, we need 10 retention basins. Yes, but then beneath that, if you then go into, of course, in order to make sure that we actually are able to lower the water level by 17 centimeters per retention basin, there's a lot of science going into it. When do I open it? How? Right? So there's so many questions but the public doesn't need to know that. Well, but if they're interested, and yes, we can share it. We don't need to hide it. But like the story should be, it can be lowered by 17 centimeters if you trust us. So
yes, and depends the way that you transmit. I love the visit that you give us during the morning, because when we entered to that place, there was this, I will call infographic, that was posters, and I was saying, this is, they don't have nature-based solutions, but for emergency, your solutions are amazing. I really like it. And then I understood that there was a poster there, and Udo explained the nature-based solution. Sometimes it's merging solutions, and you see that how companies could be very easy to explain what they are doing. It was, even if one was in Deutsch, I didn't understand nothing that was written, but with the image I could see what you are doing. So that is the nice, because everyone can go, talking with them of course, but everyone can go understand very well what they are doing, for what they are using that, how it works. So this is the information that we need to do it is. Guys, for politicians, what I'm understanding now, for my very small experience, is we need to show the opportunities. Look, you have this opportunity, decision maker. You have these solutions, you can use this solution as for this, and you have this opportunity and these benefits if you choose that. And if you are choosing that, you have these benefits. And they took. I think they are more similar with us, engineers, than what we think. Even if they are, because they like numbers, but not the numbers that we want, or we like. We like the numbers of the agent-based modeling that gives that KPI. They like, okay, cost this, benefit this. This is good, done.
While we are talking, I think, I should have, this scheme. Like, if you have 1,000 trees, we'll lower down the speed or the retention in, I don't know, how many meters, so that cubic meters. If you have green roofs, you will lower down some more cubic meters. So like just a list. I like lists and schemes and numbers that you can just show. That's how much you can get it. Like carbon retention or water retention for 1,000 trees. And probably you will have to think of all kinds of trees and all kinds of fruits and all kinds of, but we just need an average value.
And you will have the models, all the models that we are doing, but in what I call back office. So usually I said that we do back office and front office. It will be our front office for them, but we have to do the predictive model because we are saying that maybe we will retain this. The probability is 95% of retaining this amount. So there is the science, but it's in behind. But I disagree just in one point at what you said. I think public in general needs to be also informed, but in a different way. What I'm scared now is, and I give classes about asset management, and but related with risk. And what I said that in our models is very difficult to modeling is the risk perception. But in the case, it's all perception that we have of the things. So the way that we transmit information is the perception. Usually I give an example to my students just to test them. And I say, look to the whiteboard, what you are seeing is an accident in Fukushima. Fukushima, not Hiroshima. The first thing that is, and the accident was in a nuclear power plant. It's in purpose that I choose this. Because every time that they look, they just see the Shima part, and they just see the nuclear part. So they automatically think that we talk about the bomb in the world. And we said, no, look, this was a power plant. And it was a minimal hazard. There was 6 people that died, true, but very old people that they died because it was the workers that tried to save the problem. So there was no accident for the public, but you know that nobody lives there because of the risk perception, it was very high. So the way of people understand what we are saying is important. So the way that we transmit information, we need to have people inside that understand. People like yesterday we were talking each other. She's sociologist, so she knows how to understand people and to speak with them too. So we need to involve also these sciences in our science because they could do these connections. And people like Claudia, that she's mastered in communication, so they also, or Denise, So they also know how to communicate the information, and this is important. And I think in majority of projects that I was working, we forgot this part. To have people that is expert on communicate and understand people.
Let's give me, before I want to bring in Steb, because I have a question for you. But before that, I want to give another example of this communication. Do you know what CERN is? The CRN, the Big Hadron Collider? Yes. Do you remember when there was this rumor of the black hole being, when they start to work, and then all of a sudden there's a black hole and the world will end? There was a rumor, and I had so many people who have nothing to do with science. All of a sudden they were all experts on large hadron colliders. It was really interesting, like something which was so highly physical that most even physicians, physics experts can't explain you exactly what's happening there. But the public all of a sudden was really interested in it because of the news, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to add before we bring in you, I think it's also important translation. Often scientists think if we make a definition and glossary of resilience and sustainability, that's how everyone will understand. But that's another matter of perception already between scientists. And I wanted to add that my experience with politicians is they only listen with half an ear, you know? They only lend you half an ear, because they listen and then they say, well, this is all about green, nature, environmental. That's not my party, so I'm not interested in it anymore. This could be one of the big challenges of NBSINFRA, because we wanted to bring in blue, green and gray and critical, you know? And there are different interests behind. So someone listens with an ear because interested as our construction, money for construction companies. That we should not forget, you know, this translation part is very, very key in how people listen to you or not.
I don't know how it's in Germany, but in Portugal, they are also scared of talking about these words, or listen about these words. Because working in risk, resilience, or sustainability sometimes allows you to gain votes, sometimes no.
Exactly.
Because it's what I'm saying. When I'm teaching nature-based solutions, I have different kinds of nature-based solutions. But we have the nature solution, so you can use the nature inside. And when you are in a problem like, I think it's European problem, not just in Portugal, but we don't have houses for people living, and come a person and say, let's create nature in the city, let's bring nature, they think, but I need a house to live, not a park. At this moment, I don't need a park. So, and then when we talk to the politicians about this, they already think, but come on, I need to guarantee that I have votes because I'm working for the public. They need houses, not parks. So, and in that moment, he cut.
Yep.
He's listened, but not listen anymore.
Yep.
Even if at the end you say, no, but the green part could be in the roof. He already doesn't listen that part, so you already not. So it's the way that you need to find the opportunities. When you see the opportunity, you present. I'm not here in the project with the idea that everything needs to be nature-based solution. No, come on, it's impossible. For what they were presenting yesterday, for an emergency where you have a flood, you cannot go there and put a tree in that moment. No, put that. Come on, it's something that you do temporary. It's a great solution, but it's a good solution for the problem that you are protecting people. Nature-based solution is the principle of protecting nature and people. So that fits very well. It's good. Everyone contributes. You have done. At the end, you take it. No, perfect.
Let me know, because what I noticed that basically all city labs had the same issue, is to get people interested in so, and you have a whole project dedicated to getting people into the co-creation process, to start a process, and perhaps you can talk about your experience a bit currently and what you're trying to do different now next year. Because I think that's something which happened in Aveiro, which happened in Fingal, and first give you some opportunity.
Yeah, well, our task was to try to make a project in one of the city parts called Fekete, which is down the river here, and try to figure out how to catch the people, how to push them to implement solutions on their own property. Because we have just rare spaces on the streets, and if not every property owner goes with us and like planting trees or like get rid of all the concrete, then it won't work at all. So our focus was to figure out how to mobilize them. And yeah, it was really hard actually. Like we tried an opening ceremony kind of, and we printed flyers, we put posters, we even like painted streets where they live to show how risky it is to live there and that they have to get into action. And only like 30 people showed up, or 20. And it is kind of depressing, yeah, kind of depressing. So now we try to figure out how to address it to the people. And we don't have a solution right now. We're trying different things. And I think you first have to think about who you're talking to. That's what you talked about. Like, what do the people think? Like, where is their point to catch them?
Mm-hmm.
And for them, it's always like, I don't want to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't the municipality spend money? It's not my problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to show them, yeah, but you will drown as well if you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to catch them by their deepest angst?
Fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Catch them by their deepest fear.
Which is that the municipality knocks at their door and asks them for money.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. No, but I
So
think,
we try more to focusing now on like a positive events, like we implemented a competition who has the greenest garden. Please show us your best practice examples that even your neighbors see it. But only one person showed up.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, we don't know like,
Yeah.
where to catch them.
So it's frustrating because you have all the facts, you know
Yeah.
it only works this way, but you throw as many, the more facts you basically throw at them, the less they want to participate, right? And you have, I mean, you told me what you did, and it's like all the tricks in the book and more.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say the marketing was bad, because that's like, yeah, we just need another way, like there needs to be another solution. Perhaps let's do the, not in the evening, but do it in the morning, because people have more time there, or something like that. But I think it's, so what I'm gathering from all the other city labs, it's really is the storyline. How do we catch people and property, or perhaps that's currently my feeling, it's money. Like, how do we catch people in
Or memory. You want to know the funny thing about our first, we are from a university in the north of the country. Aveiro is in the center. Lucky me, I born in Aveiro, is my city, so I know how to talk with them, because I am one of them. Okay? So, because in Minho, the culture and the people is completely different. And we are a very small country. We are 10 million, not 10 million, almost 10 million in the entire country. But the way that Minho lives the life is completely different from Aveiro. I know how to speak with people from Aveiro because I am one. But you know the difference we had, I don't know how to explain very well our way of governing the cities, but we have the municipality that is responsible by the entire city, but then we have very local parishes. Districts that they are responsible to manage like a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay? So in this river that we are trying to rehabilitate with nature-based solutions, our case study pass for two different neighborhoods, like two parishes. The river calls Vilar, Ribeira de Vilar, is in Portugal. So Vilar Stream is the name. And one of these parishes, the name of the neighborhood is Vilar. The other one has another name. The people from Vilar has this connection with that river, this memory, this identity. So we did the first assembly, like open ceremony, in the two parishes. In one we have 6, no? Yeah. And in Vilar we have almost 30, because they are very connected with that river. So that part of the river, they feel that for them the river is them. not from everyone. It's like my cup, you see, my notebook. So they are very interested to be there because they want that it's the best place. The other ones has the same problem, but they don't have this connection. It's not because we are going for the fear, but I agree completely with you. If you show them that you can die, you will lose your house, they start to be interested. But in this case, there is also the other side. If they are very connected, if it's a memory, if it's your identity, they also are pushing. And there is a lot of good examples, bad examples. It's not easy. For me to enter in the social sciences, it was terrible in the beginning because I said we will never achieve the participation. Because when you want to do participation, you want everyone involved. So all types of profiles of people, not just us or a person that is also interested. You want everyone, and it's not easy. Not easy. I think there is no good ways or bad ways. It's the way for that specific community done.
Yeah, and I think you have to focus on the people you're talking to. For example, if you're talking to younger people, we try to focus on social media.
Yes.
If you try to catch the older persons, which are mostly the owners of the property, because right now it's so fucking expensive that no young people can afford it. So it's only the 80-year-old persons who are living there since 40 years. And they're like, why should I do something there every day anyway? And like, they don't care about it. But then you have to catch them, for example, but what's about your children? They maybe get a house afterwards, and if you don't do anything now, they will have big problems. Like you always have to get into their mind to try to catch them there. But it's really hard if you have like 5 different persons, and then you have 5 different methods, and then you're running out of time. So you kind of have to, the best solution would be one method for all the people, but this would not be working.
UCD did something very nice with Finland. They do everything in digital way. And they said, let's try in Aveiro. And me and Angela, now I can say because she's over there, she knows, I already told her. We start laughing in the first day. We will say, for that community, will never works. They are not
even inside the city.
Even inside.
I could get a colleague from each department to be in the meeting and do post-its, and then we put it in the computer, but it just this reaction to use.
But then we said, okay, they want to use the digital. We know that with our community needs to be the traditional way. So go interview, speak with them, take them. Let's do something that I said to the sociologists: forget your methodology. I will do something that, as an engineer. So try solving a problem. So at this moment, the problem is the guys will never fill the Cartosport, the digital solution, because they don't know even how to map in Google Map correctly, how they can go to a GIS tool that you need to go inside. So let's do this. We put the youngs feeling what the others answer in the question. So we have the Cartosport, but in a paper mode. So people that are not able to do it, they answer. And then me and Claudia, we organize a mini course for teaching our students our work with that, and we give them anonymous data. Okay, we took everything that was not, so just the memories, because we were collecting memories, just the words. So guys, fill this with this information. It's not real information, it's just for you to understand. And we have 20 points in the map that was really information for that we need to use. Of course, we inform them, look guys, these 20 points comes from not directly people going there, was coming from the interviews. So take this into consideration in your methodology. So we speak with scientists, say, look, these 20 points is this. But in reality, it was a mix. But we went to the scouts. They were, I think the older was 18. They go directly to the digital solution. They fill everything. They ask us if they can fill it in English. We said, yes, for the guys from Ireland, it's better if you write in English. So it's like this, it's what you said. Sometimes we need to adjust the way that we do the things, because we have the same thing. So it's not in Germany, it's in all I think.
So I just looked at my clock, and
We need to finish.
We mainly need to eat.
Sorry, I speak too much.
No, it's really interesting. I think it's a wonderful discussion. Thank you very much. I have, in my mind during the discussion, I have an idea. I will sit down, I will flesh it out, and we will.
Good.
Because I think there could be, I don't know, I just need to think about it a bit more. And before I think, I need another question. So, no, we have in the other room with the flag, if you haven't been there yet, please help yourself. It's wonderful buffet. We have baked rolls, we have tortilla, yes, for you, yes.
For me, not for her. It's for Spain. No, we also like them.
Yeah, you
like it. We like
really
it.
good tortilla in Portugal. So
It's true.
But yeah, so we have, I have also some little bags if you want to take something on your trip, right? Because I think some of you have a long trip. And I encourage you now to use the time to eat and connect with each other and talk a bit more. Because I think this is the most important part in our project, to connect us.
True.
And what better way to connect us with a cinnamon bun? So, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
I also want, before I let you go, I want to take the opportunity. I want to thank the Steb. I want to thank Christiane and Mona. Thank you very much for your wonderful help yesterday. We have some also THK bags for you. Yes. And I also want to thank our guests, Iris and Fahad. Thank you for being here. It's really interesting. It's so important to look outside of the project. So thank you very much for being here. And now, please enjoy.
Wait, just a minute.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
I always need to finish.
Yes,
I'm
sorry.
I like my 5 minutes attention. I don't know. So, I would like also to thank both of you and all the team. It was a very interesting day for me. It was amazing to see how can we see also wetlands in a different way. I have a lot of ideas now. I'm like Christopher. So thanks for the day, but thanks you and everyone from TH Cologne, because it was amazing 3 days for me. Of course, the review was very good. I don't know what's happened, but I think now I know what's happened. This group is it's the first time that I work in a project that seems more a family than a project or a consortium. It's true, because we have, like in a family, sometimes we fight, sometimes then we are happy again. It's like a family. Everyone has their own personality, but we are always everyone is very involved and engaged. So thank you so much. My work is not so difficult as was expecting with 18 partners, exactly because of that. And the organization was amazing. Now I don't know what we need to do in Aveiro, because the expectation is very high. Let's see what we can do. But yes, the final city meeting is Aveiro, but we already passed for all the cities. Every time that we go is even higher activities, more things to see. I don't know what we can do in Aveiro.
Go back to the basics and just.
I think I will pick everyone to go to the beach to see the houses, very fun. Touristic park, maybe everyone is happy with that part.
That, I think.
So once again, thanks for having us here. It was really, really good these 3 days. So now let's go food and drink and talk.